What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be breaking down everything you actually need to start your own pressure washing business. I'm making this video so you guys don't waste money on unnecessary equipment or make the same mistakes that I did starting off. If you're new here, my name is Kurt and I started my pressure washing business about 3 years ago with a small 5x8 trailer. Since then, I've grown my company into a 6-figure business and I now have 2 trucks and upgraded equipment. I want to be clear though, getting to this point took a lot of trial and error. When I first started, I had no idea what I was doing and I was going on YouTube looking up videos just like this. I bought a lot of things that I didn't need and skipped a lot of things that I actually needed down the road. So in this video, I'm going to make it super clear and straight to the point and show you guys exactly everything you need to start your own business. Every piece of equipment you guys see in this video, I'll put links down to Amazon so you guys can purchase from there directly. If you use my links, Amazon gives me a super small commission, which supports the channel and allows me to keep creating content like this. One last thing before we jump in, I've created a completely free pressure washing community where you can chat with me directly and other people that are just getting started. It's a place to ask questions, bounce ideas off each other, and I also post super exclusive videos on there that actually shows you guys how to run your business. Since it's completely free, I will be limiting the spots because I don't want this to be thousands of people in it. So if you guys are watching this video and you're able to join now, I would do so right now. All right, let's get straight into it. And the very first thing you will need, and the most obvious piece of equipment you need, is your pressure washer. If you're new, there's 2 main options that I recommend starting with. You'll hear this a lot within the pressure washing community. It's GPM, which means gallons per minute. This refers to how much water your pressure washer puts out. I always like to say the more flow, the more dough, because a higher GPM allows you to clean faster and finish jobs more efficiently. Now you can either start with a 2.5 gallon per minute machine or a 4 gallon per minute machine. A 2.5 gallon a minute pressure washer usually costs around $500 to $700. These machines will absolutely work, especially if you're on a tight budget. The only downside of these, they will take you so much more time to actually complete jobs. A 4 gallon a minute pressure washer, on the other hand, usually costs around $900 to $1,300, kind of dependent on what brand you go with, but the difference is huge. I personally made the investment and started with a 4 gallon a minute pressure washer, and I'm really glad I did because I made my money back within the first month of working. I was able to finish jobs faster, which allowed me to fit in more jobs per day. So if you can afford it, I highly recommend starting with a 4 gallon a minute, but if you're on a tight budget, a 2.5 gallon a minute will work. Alright, the next thing you will need is a surface cleaner. You guys will probably hear other people say a surface cleaner isn't necessary, and technically they're right. You can clean concrete with just a wand, but the amount of time and effort you save with a surface cleaner is insane. This will easily become the best tool you will ever buy. A surface cleaner allows you to clean driveways, patios, and sidewalks evenly and quickly, and this will also allow you to take bigger jobs and charge more. Instead of struggling with a wand, this tool will pay for itself in no time. The only trick with these things though is you need to get the correct size to what gallon per minute pressure washer you have. So a good rule of thumb is try to multiply what gallon per minute machine you have by 4. So if you have a 2.5 gallon per minute pressure washer, you can multiply that by 4, which is 10. And you can usually stretch that out to be 12 inches, so I would suggest getting a 12-inch wide surface cleaner if you have a 2.5 gallon per minute machine. If you have a 4 gallon a minute machine, multiply that by 4, that's 16, but I actually used a 20-inch surface cleaner when I started with my 4.5 gallon machine, and that's a good rule of thumb to have. If you guys are getting a 2.5 gallon a minute machine, I would stop the cutoff at 12 inches wide. If you guys are getting a 4 gallon machine, I would stop the cutoff at 20 inches wide. Alright, the next thing you will need is hoses, and this is where a lot of beginners mess up. You need 2 hoses, a non-marking high pressure hose and a garden hose, preferably Flexzilla, because that's what I use and I found those are the best. Cheap hoses leave scuff marks all over concrete driveways, and once that happens, you're stuck trying to remove marks that you caused yourself. It looks unprofessional and it wastes so much time. For your water supply, I recommend a Flexzilla garden hose. These are lightweight, flexible, and they don't kink and hold up extremely well over time. This is the hose you'll need to hook up to the customer's spigot directly to your pressure washer. Next thing you will need is a pressure washing gun and an extension wand. A good gun gives you better control and less fatigue. An extension wand is critical because it allows you to reach higher areas safer. This is also great if you can't use a surface cleaner in super tight areas, and these pair great with the next things you will need is a turbo nozzle and other tips. The turbo nozzle is a must-have for concrete. It spins a 0-degree steam in a circular motion. This gives you a powerful clean without damaging the surface when you use it correctly. So it's super good at getting stubborn dirt or grime that's just been sitting there for years. The other nozzle I'm going to recommend is a J-rod. You can also use a J-rod to do a house wash. It's basically a 4-in-1 tool that you can easily quick connect on and off, and it's not as piercing as a turbo nozzle, so this allows you to do more flat work that needs a little bit more care. You will also need a full set of pressure washing tips. tips: a 0, 15, 25, and 40 degree tips. These different tips serve different purposes. For example, a 40 degree tip is great for rinsing and softer applications, while a 15 and 25 degree tip gives you a lot more cleaning power. Make sure you never just use one tip for everything because you can damage property. Next thing you will need is a high pressure ball valve. High pressure ball valve installs between your gun and your hoses and instantly allows you to turn off water whenever you need to. If you didn't have one of these, you would have to turn off your pressure washer every time you just wanted to turn your water off. So this is also a super key and crucial piece of equipment that you will need. Next thing you will need is chemicals and an X-Jet if you want to do a house wash. Pressure washing is not just about pressure. Chemicals actually do most of the work. The main chemical you will need is called sodium hypochlorite, and you guys will probably hear other people in the industry call it SH. This is also known as just straight bleach. This is mandatory for house washing, removing algae and mold, because water and high pressure alone won't properly clean a house. To apply the chemicals safely, you'll need the product called an X-Jet with an M5 twist attached to it. All you do is pour some SH into a bucket, and you use the X-Jet to downstream the chemical onto the house, and then once you're done doing that, all you do is rinse and it will look brand new. Now this part can be kind of confusing, so I'll put links down in the description for videos that I made in the past explaining everything about that. But make sure you guys get the M5 twist attached to the X-Jet. This allows you to control your spray pattern and reach higher areas. The next things you will need are quick connects. Quick connects may seem small, but they are essential. They allow you to swap between your surface cleaner, gun, and hoses and other attachments in seconds rather than threading everything on and off every single day. It saves you time and keeps your workflow much smoother. You'll commonly see the size 3/8 for quick connects, but there's also some other quick connects that you'll need in order to connect to your pressure washer to your garden hose as well. Again, I'll put links down to all of those quick connects that you guys can just purchase, and I'll make it super simple. Alright, the final mandatory thing you guys need is safety gear. I know there's so many people that don't wear any safety gear, and your body should be your top priority in protecting that all the time. You'll need chemical resistant gloves, work boots, durable work pants, a mask or respirator whenever you use bleach, and eye protection. Make sure you guys are wearing eye protection all the time. Sodium hypochlorite can burn your skin, ruin your clothes, and damage your eyes severely. Not a lot of people talk about the precautions and safety that you need to start your own business, but I want to make sure I really put this on you guys because keeping yourself protected should be your #1 priority. Proper safety gear isn't optional, it's how you stay in the industry for as long as possible. Alright, so that's basically everything mandatory that you guys will need to start your own pressure washing business, but if you have some extra cash laying aside, I highly recommend getting yourself some hose reels. You'll need 2 of them, one for your high pressure and one for your garden hose. This will also save you so much time and energy to just reel in your hoses after every single job that you do. But you'll also need 2 different whip lines to attach to your pressure washer, and again, I made a video about that. I'll put a link down in the description if you guys want to purchase hose reels and learn about that as well. There's one more thing you need if you want this to be a real business and not just a side hustle, and that's a good CRM like Jobber. I personally use Jobber for my business, and I highly recommend it, especially if you're just starting out. Jobber lets you handle quotes, scheduling, invoicing, and payments all in one place. Instead of keeping notes in your phone and texting your customer back and forth, everything stays organized and professional, and you actually look like a real business. When customers get clean quotes, automated reminders, and easy payment options, they trust you so much more, and that directly leads to a higher close rate and repeat business. I'll put a link down in the description for a 14-day free trial with Jobber, so you guys can go play around with it and check it out, but I promise you guys will love it, and it's something that I wish I had early on when I was starting my business. So that's a full breakdown of everything you need to start your own business. Every item is down in the description, and make sure to check out that free community. I will be closing it off soon. It's a great way to connect with others and myself, to bounce ideas off each other, and it's completely free. If this video helped you, make sure to like and subscribe and comment any other questions that you might have for me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.